Good morning, traders and investors. My name is Shen Mwangangi, one of the best market analysts here at HFM. Welcome all for those who are joining us via different platforms, for those who are via Zoom, for those who will be watching via YouTube, welcome. So, today's market brace for key US job data in a holiday shortened week. We have ISM manufacturing PMI coming out today. We also have Jerome Powell speaking today, so expect volatility today on US paired assets and together with gold. And to begin this week, the financial markets began with a risk-on sentiment as easing geopolitical tensions that was between Iran and Israel and hopes for Federal Reserve rate cuts propelled US indices to new record highs and put significant pressure on the US dollar. And yesterday's session, we saw a continuation of these themes where the US 500 continued propelling higher together with the US 100. We saw them continue propelling higher. And this is setting the stage for a pivotal holiday shortened week dominated by the upcoming US Non-Farm Payrolls report. So today also, this week also, we are expected to have the NFP on a Thursday. That is unexpected. So we have NFP coming out this week on Thursday, and the forecast is 110 from the previous 139. So they're expecting a worse than expected report because of increased inflation. And on Friday expect a less volatile week because of the upcoming US Independence Day, which will be like a holiday for the US. So no major moves will be happening on Friday as we close the week. Coming on to gold. So today, gold's direction will be mainly influenced by the US dollar performance and broader market sentiment. Manufacturing PMI data from the US could provide some short-term volatility. And this week's outlooks, the main event for gold is Thursday's US non-farm payroll, as we all know it as NFP. A weaker than expected jobs number could revive hopes for a Fed rate cut, potentially providing a flow for gold prices. Conversely, a strong report could strengthen the dollar and send gold lower all the way to 32.25, because we know, as you can see, that's our main support at gold. And on the opposite, a resistance is now seen at around 3369.55. Coming on now to Forex on the dollar index, you can see the dollar has been weakening drastically. You can see we came all the way from 109.92 and right now we are at the lowest. Never been at this level since 2022. And what's our main outlook this week? Our main outlook this week for the dollar and any other dollar pair like the Euro USD, the JPY USD, the USD JPY, and the Audi USD. Number one, today will be the release of the ISM manufacturing PMI from the US, which will be a key focus. And also, we know that Jerome Powell is speaking, so speeches from the central bank officials will also be monitored for any change in tone. Are we going to have a hawkish tone or a dovish tone? Hawkish means bullish, dovish means bearish. And this week's outlooks, the market is primed to be a volatile week. Why? Because the US NFP report on Thursday will be the primary catalyst. A disappointing report will likely add further downward pressure on the dollar, as you can see already it's moving down, and potentially pushing Euro USD to the top. As you can see, Euro USD right now it's taking a record high since 2021, never been there, and we continue moving higher on the Euro USD as the dollar continues to weaken. Also, this week's outlooks, as you can see, the dollar For the Euro USD, our support will be at around, if you're expecting any form of pullback on the daily chart, we'll be expecting a support at around 1.15948. Remember, supports are zones and not levels. So between 15880 and where we have our week and 1.16235, that can act as our support so that we can either propel upwards or find a cooling bullish pressure from the Euro USD. So upcoming this week, as we all know, again, the market direction will likely be influenced by the manufacturing PMI on the S&P 500 and the US 100, and also mega cap on the tech stocks. So this week's outlooks, while the trend is clearly bullish on the US 500 and the US 100, the sustainability of the rally will be tested by this upcoming economical data. The US job reports on Thursday will be a critical event for both of these indices, the US 500 and US 100. Why? Because a Goldilocks number, which means strong enough to show economical resilience, but not so strong so as to deter the Fed from cutting rates, could propel indices even higher. The Nasdaq is now within the sight of the psychological 20,500 level. However, traders will be wary of any negative surprises in the data, which could trigger profit taking and begin a downward move. Remember, this is a strong move, and how we play moves is, if you're in the lower time frame, you take pullbacks and continue with the upward moves. But if you're looking at the daily time frame, what you're expecting is for us to come back to our support zone so that we can continue move upwards. So for day traders and scalpers, take the short-term up moves as this bullish move continues to propel upwards. So with that said, that's all for our US dollar, for our gold, for our indices, and also for our other forex pairs paired with the dollar. So that's what we're expecting this week. Job reports on Thursday, which is the NFP, and also today the ISM and the central bank speech release. Are we going to expect a dovish tone from Jerome Powell or a bullish tone from Jerome Powell? So for traders and investors, that's it for today. Thank you for joining in our daily morning market call, where we provide the best insights of what is happening in the market. Make sure that you go and trade safely and use the right trader's mentality. Remember, trading psychology is very important as a trader. Also use strict risk management, because remember, this is also a business. You have to manage your risk wisely, and also apply your strategy. Don't just enter because you saw a run. Always follow your rules. With that said, today we have Traders Clinic beginning at 2 p.m. For those joining us, you're welcome to come. And we also have our classes beginning at 11 a.m. at our physical office at the Oval, 5th floor, HFM offices. With that said, thank you. My name is Shen Mongangi, the best market analyst here at HFM. Goodbye and see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Goodbye.